Peace family. Okay, story time. I remember one day, right? This was back when I was doing rideshare. Okay, so I was driving for Lyft. And I remember I met these two guys, right? And it was a Indian guy who was dressed up like he had like sort of like something that a monk would wear, right? And then it was another guy, right? Let's just say this guy name is Kush, right? Now, when they first got in my car, they had like this suitcase, right? And it was filled with these beads. At the time, I didn't know that. So as I am driving, taking them to their destination, Kush, who was a mentee of the Indian guy, had owned this shop in New York City. Okay. And I dropped the mentor off. And then I was taking Kush to his shop. And this is the first time I met them. So we started talking about spirituality because I had like these beads on. And what really caught the mentor eye was the Evil's Eye bracelet, right? Which is blue and white. Blue, white, and black. It has an eye. And when I got to Kush shop, me and him started talking. I had purchased some items from his shop, which is a phenomenal shop located in New York. And I don't know if it's the Chelsea area, but it's located in New York, okay? And I remember Kush said that he, teach breathing techniques. He's from Nepal. And one of the things that I noticed about Kush was when you would go to his shop, like the two times that I've been there, he's always giving, right? No matter what I purchase, he always makes sure he gives stuff. And without him even knowing my son, right? Just from me speaking of my son who's 19 years old, Kush had gave me some things to give to my son, like a singing bowl, a bracelet, and and he gave him a neck piece. Okay, and that was the first time I went there. So the second time I went there, I wanted to purchase these. But honey, I did not know how much these were. Okay. So they are $10 per bead. Now I understood why his shop was like in the area that it was in. Okay. So it was $10 per bead. And when I went there, I was like, oh, I want to get these, right? I want to purchase this. And I didn't know how much they were, right? Until he told me. And so I got these, which were fairly a certain price, okay? Because it's like a big thing of it, right? When I wear this, I have to like, double it to wrap it around my neck. But the reason I'm telling this story is this. Don't allow people to push you into something. Okay, so my oldest son and I, we had went back to Kush shop. Okay, now the second time that I've been there. This is the first time that I actually went with my oldest son, who's 19. And so as we in Kush shop, so I'm talking to Kush. I let him meet my son. My son is speaking to him and stuff like that. My son is more so like laid back, right? And so as I'm speaking to Kush, the reason I went there to the shop was so me and my son could do breathing, right? Learning this breathing technique for as like meditation and stuff like that. And I believe the sessions were like $100 and something. And I kept telling my son, like, come on, do it. Like, do it. We could do it together. And my son did not want to do it. And one of the things that Kush said was, don't rush him. He'll do it when he want to do it. You know what that let me know? One, Kush wasn't in a rush for money. That was one. Which also made me want to do even more business with him. Two, it was almost like he put the customer first, because as opposed to saying, well, if you don't do this meditation, you ain't gonna be able to breathe right, and if you don't breathe right, now I'm being dramatic here, but if you don't breathe right, that you ain't gonna be able to get downloads and all these different things, right? So the moral of the story is this, and I too was guilty of this, right? I used to be like, well, you gotta hurry up and do this, because if you don't do this, then your life is never going to change. Recently, since I'm really focused on happiness, right, and doing things that works for me, not doing things that works for someone else, not doing things that is going to make somebody else happy, and then I'm looking like, why the hell did I do this, or whatever it is like that. What I realized in my life is I'm not trying to hurry up and get somewhere, right? Because all the times that I was like, well, when I get there, when I hurry up and get there, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be. And then I was putting up so much resistance into the universe, where as though it's like it's prolonging it, right? The desires that I had. So what I started doing is recently, by the way, I started saying, when it happens, it happens. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy my life. I'm gonna pay attention to things that I'm grateful for. I'm gonna go for walks. Be grateful for the sun that's out, okay, that's giving me the vitamin D, child. I'm going to be grateful for the smoothie that I get to make. I'm going to be grateful for the soap that I have to wash my behind with. I'm going to be grateful for the fact that I could do laundry. I'm going to be grateful for the fact I wake up in the morning. I'm going to be grateful for the fact that I get to pick my children up from school. I'm going to be grateful for being able to take my children to the park and run with them and play with them. I'm going to be grateful for those things. And while I'm grateful for those things, I am allowing the universe to do the universe's job and bring everything to fruition. So my advice to you is always do what works for you. Never allow someone to put you on a guilt trip by saying you procrastinating or by saying you don't want it bad enough. Okay? Do what works for you. Okay? Because what works for you matters. And if you are around people that are saying, well, you got to hurry up and do it, because you don't hurry up and do it, girl, your life ain't going to change. It will change. Okay? But perhaps if you step away from it, it's going to change. Perhaps if you surrender, it's going to change. Perhaps if you let go of the end result, it's going to change. And with that being said, I love you guys. Peace.